Good evening, kings and queens, gentlemen and ladies. This is Refined Rose, back with another video. I mentioned in one of my other videos that our abusers would do false reportings to our job, make up stuff to try to get us fired if we're still working, to the Department of Veteran Affairs if we're receiving benefits there, and to Social Security. So even though false reporting may be hard to prove unless the person doing the reporting tell them it's false reporting, but 9 times out of 10 they're not going to do that. But so I had false reporting done on me to a number of agencies, and what my husband and his son and his brother, what they didn't bank on, that they were probably going to be looked into as soon as the VA or Social Security made contact with me and told me what was said about me working 40 hours, and they've been watching me and they didn't see any evidence of it. And they asked me, who do I think would have done something like this? And I told them, I gave him my husband's name, his son in particular, because he hates my guts, because his dad hates my guts, like father, like son. It's the blind leading the blind, and not using critical thinking, and don't have the wherewithal just to stay out of it. So I guess his father didn't think I knew his son's middle name. I think it's Tyrone. I know the whole name, and I know the brother's whole name too. And I gave him my husband's whole name, and I sent them a copy of my divorce decree and the police report from when my husband was arrested. And it coincided with a court date that my husband filed against me. It's called a writ of retrieval. So they will lie and say that they didn't get all their items, and they'll go to the court and they'll file what is a writ of retrieval, and we will have to show up to the hearing. So the investigators, Social Security contacted the investigator and let them know about the false reporting. And I gave them their full names and my husband's date of birth and around the age of his son and the age of his brother. So investigator contacted me, gave them all that information, and in turn he was investigated, and they don't know that they're being watched, and they don't know that I told them that my life is in danger with his son, with his brother, and with my husband. And my husband may want to have somebody attack me with his criminal buddies. And my husband, I don't know if I did mention it in my video, my husband beat the feds. And he told me there's a 99% conviction rate. And the only reason he beat the feds because the guy that was supposed to testify against him was found dead with a gunshot wound in the head. So they had no choice but to let my husband go. So my husband is really a dangerous individual. So the investigator went over his long rap sheet, I guess what you call it, and told me my husband is a frequent violator of the law. He had been driving on multiple suspended license, and in turn he got multiple occupational license, tons of running in with the cops, no respect for authority. I mean, this rap sheet has some of everything on it. So the guy just can't keep his mouth straight, just can't stay out of trouble, just keep having run-ins. And I was told the next person I get, it's probably good to pay a little bit of money and get an investigator look into it, because the investigator said there's a lot of dangerous men and a lot of dangerous women out here on these streets. So if we're going to get with somebody, it's good to spend the money. I wouldn't do it online. I would hire an investigator. I have a criminal defense attorney that I'm great friends with, and I can just pay him to pull somebody's report. And I should have did it on my husband, and I would have saw that he can't keep a license. He's always breaking the law. He's in and out of jail, and he's been involved with domestic violence before. Either the women calling the cops on him, or he calling the cops on the women. They get back together, they fight again, they separate. This is something that he's used to doing. He hasn't grown up yet. He's about to be 54 years old, but he act like a prepubescent child. So y'all, all I'm saying is the records are out there for us to see for these abusers. More than likely, they've had problems with the run-in with the law. And if we pull these records and we ask them about these records, they get very confrontational, then we know that's probably not the person for us if they're getting confrontational, because we need to know who we're dating. We want to know what type of car we're driving, how many miles on it, when was the last oil change, how many drivers did it have, what does the Carfax say, has it ever been in any accidents. So we need to research these people. Women are crazy nowadays, not all of them, and some men are crazy nowadays. So we need to be careful out there. We need to just hire an investigator and ask them to pull their record. If we can get access to their full name and date of birth, and if you have a social security number, that's good too. Because like I say, I have an investigator now because of false reporting to those agencies. Now they're not looking at me, they're looking at them, because I told them my life was in danger, and then I found out. But like I say, the person that's supposed to testify against my husband when he was locked up in the federal penitentiary and his brother was locked up, his brother actually did 19 years, found him guilty, and he paroled to the parents' house, and he's looking to set the brother up because the brother stole $100,000, he believed, allegedly, from the parents and did split it with him. So they don't know that they're being watched. Their family is being watched. If something happens to me, they're going to be the first suspect. So we need to just keep stuff. Let our family members know what's going on if we feel like we're in danger. Tell our friends, tell our associates, tell our colleagues, just in case something happens to us or we disappear while living with our abuser. That's all I have for now. Have a good evening. Refined Rose out. Bye for now.